light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing, light 'em up, go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated, sucker free, we got the seats heated, let's face it, you bout to get a beat down, less talking, let's take it to the streets now, ain't gonna be no rematch, why you wanna fight, touchdown on sight, yeah, turn off the light, oh, turn off the light, let's get it poppin', go dumb. When you see me moving, bodies dropping. Move some. I'm about to go sick, call Earl. I'm turning up like E40, not your average girl. I'm turning up. We can rock like Rocky, make you tap it. Ghost ride the whip, look at my drip. This ain't a copy. We got all night if you wanna throw hands. When they see me fight, they wanna throw bands. Go dumb, go stupid, yeah, we undefeated. Sucker free, we got the seats heated. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up in the ring, light 'em up, shoot, shine, do your thing. Light 'em up.
It's time for the main event. It's the Shoe Shine.
¿Qué onda, vatos locos? Damas y caballeros, it's your boy Dave in the 702 for a special Thursday night football edition of the Shoe Shine Sports. I'll be doing this show solo, guys, as we all watch and anticipate the battle of the NFC West, the LA Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. Tie game 30-30. Incredible comeback by Sam Darnold, but let's be honest, Seattle squandered a bunch of scoring oppositions, 2 interceptions by Sam Darnold. At one point, it looked like he was the choke artist. Somehow, miraculously, a few big plays and a couple of 2-point conversions later, we got a tie game with the Rams seemingly about to score and take control of the NFC West. Shout out Fonzie in the building. Big games for everybody. Oh, God, man. Shout out to everybody that was watching Pro Box. If you had 2 TVs and you were watching boxing, shout out to Fonzie. I was just thinking, man, we saw that kid, Ramon Cardenas, who headlined tonight on Pro Box with a spectacular, I think, 5th round KO. Joshawn James of Sacramento, also in a very strange fight where 2 fighters knocked each other out at the exact same time. Well, I guess a double knockdown scored in that fight. That was pretty interesting. And of course, you know, all my boxing people, we're just 24 hours away from potentially watching, Anthony Joshua destroy, knockout into oblivion Jake Paul. Well, at least it seems that way. We also got influencer boxing. If you're maybe Cobra Tate, Andrew Tate gets knocked out this weekend. Maybe that happens. But speaking of real boxing, as I watch the end of this game, I want to give a big shout out to the legendary man, Nonito, the Filipino Flash Donaire, who fought in Japan yesterday morning, almost knocked out the champion at 118, almost became a champion again at the age of 43. Just a remarkable, incredible performance. And sadly, he does not become a 43-year-old champion. I didn't really agree with the scorecards, but it was a fantastic fight. Go out and look for that fight. Oh man, come on, guys. You guys know I'm not going for the I'm not going for the Rams. I would like the Seahawks to win tonight, so the 49ers get an opportunity to fight the Seahawks in the very last game for a potential number 1 seed. My team still has a chance to be the number 1 seed if the Seahawks win. If they don't, the 49ers are in a very nice position to potentially be the 5th seed. And the 5th seed means that the 49ers will play some of the weakest teams in the NFC, the NFC South division. So I'm Fonzie, make sure you get all those picks. This is the last week for our picks. I will announce who won. If there is a tie, I'll be splitting it 2 $50 Amazon cards to 2 people. So make sure if you've been playing along and you're catching the replay, drop it in the comment section. We got less than 49 seconds left to go. Appreciate it, everybody that's joining me. I'm still waiting for this game to finish. Looks like the Rams are going to kick the ball off. It looks like we're going to have a dramatic overtime game on Thursday Night Football. I appreciate everybody joining me. We'll get to our picks. That being said, let's have a little holiday whiskey. Little holiday whiskey. Why not? Just a little bit, guys. I haven't been able to drink Now, I might have a second glass of whiskey if the Seahawks win. But again, Nakua got himself into a bit of a pickle politically speaking. So Nakua, pardon me, was out hanging out with these live streamers, Aiden Ross and that other dweeb that I mean, I don't really watch the young streamers, guys. I really have nothing in common with them. I'm an old ass man. I'm an unk. But he's hanging out with these live streamers. The NFL was so disturbed by some of the shenanigans that they kind of got their star wide receiver for the Rams into. Apparently, he was going to do a celebration touchdown Jew dance, as they put it. He had no idea what they were going to make him do. I mean, he seems kind of oblivious to it. And the NFL is going to put a tight policy now as a result of athletes in the NFL hanging out and performing on live streams. You know, how do you guys feel about that? A very passionate game. Seattle has a chance here with a long, deep drive to potentially get a field goal. There, of course, is the Rams star wide receiver, who, like I mentioned, man, he's been making a lot of noise for all the wrong reasons on and off the field. His brother involved in an arrest of an NBA player. Damn, that's not a good look. They just sacked Darnold. His brother getting arrested this week for apparently stealing an NBA player's car or driving it without authorization, basically theft. And of course, Devontae Adams, who's leading the league this year in touchdown receptions, he's out of the game. For the 49ers, with the defense the 49ers have, to beat the Rams, I literally need those two receivers to be injured if and shall we meet the Rams in the playoffs. So it looks like we're going into overtime. Very exciting, guys. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it. I got some whiskey. This will probably be the last show of the week. I'm going to try to squeeze in one or two things, maybe even film some content, but that's going to be it for the Christmas week next week. So I really appreciate it. I'm thinking about doing the best of in boxing. Anyone here is invited to join. In fact, if you guys want to hop on the panel, if you want to hop on and be my co-host today, that's perfectly fine as well. I'm going to pull up the DraftKings odds while we watch the end of this game. All right. Rams versus Seahawks, well underway. 2 games on Saturday, guys. 2 games this Saturday. The Eagles versus the Washington Commanders. Of course, I'm sure Drew will be watching it. And also a very important game, division rivals, Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Let's start off by looking at the odds for the Eagles versus the Commanders game. The Eagles spread -7, money line -345 for the Philadelphia Eagles. All right. Let's quickly see who's going to get the ball, who's receiving the ball first. We're going into overtime, a battle for the NFC West. First place and potentially the first seed. Very exciting. All right, let's go with that Saturday game, 2 p.m. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Washington Commanders. There's no way that the Eagles dropped this game. It looks like they finally got their mojo last week, putting up 31-plus points over the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm definitively picking Drew's team with the Eagles. Make sure if you catch the replay, to drop your picks on me. Drop the picks in the comments section. Packers versus the Bears. Jordan Love not looking as impressive. This is going back and forth. The Bears at one place were the number 1 seed. Let's look at the odds really quickly. A spread of plus 1.5 for the Green Bay Packers. They are the underdogs. Chicago Bears, a -125. I'm actually going to root for the Packers in this situation. The 49ers are playing the Chicago Bears in just a hot minute, in just a couple of weeks. And it would be very helpful if the Chicago Bears are on a losing streak and losing some of that momentum. I'm going with the underdog on this one, a plus 105 for the Green Bay Packers. All right, the game overtime regulation play. What do you guys think of the new overtime rules, guys? The ones that result in a game being a potential draw. I saw the Cowboys. It was a great game. 702 Man Cave. They ended up in a really great game this year, but it ended up resulting in a draw. Oh, no. The Rams are going to get some excellent scoring position right up to the 50-yard line. And both teams get an opportunity to score. We got a penalty on the receiving team. Penalty on the receiving team. They were at the 50-yard line. All right, guys. Saturday, we got 2 games. That's really exciting. We got a 5:20 game and a 2 p.m. game, especially for everybody who's going to be looking for something to watch sports-wise on Saturday. There is that big fight in Dubai, Misfits Boxing, but I don't know what time it is. If you're watching Man Cave, let me know what time that show's on the West Coast, if possible. Tomorrow night, obviously, Netflix. Free for everybody with Netflix. Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul, which could result in the first time we see Jake Paul knocked into oblivion. Maybe knock some senses into him, thinking he could legitimately compete against heavyweight champions who are also former gold medalists, who are also the lineal champ. Anthony Joshua, the former heavyweight lineal champ who beat Klitschko for the lineal heavyweight title. I will be watching that tomorrow night. Maybe we'll even do a watch party. Maybe so. All right, guys, moving on to Sunday, 10 a.m. games. Yeah, Stafford is doing so well throwing the ball today. Tons of offense, passing yards. He's making this look easy, unfortunately. Buffalo Bills versus Shedeur Sanders, Cleveland Browns. Huge spread. Buffalo Bills got to score 10.5. They are a negative 675 favorite against Shedeur Sanders, who had an absolutely horrendous game last week. He will play out the rest of the season. Buffalo Bills will cover the spread, and I'm going to go with the money line on that. Negative 675. Guys, I apologize about my voice. Me and my wife have both been battling a cough a little bit all of the week. They couldn't even sack him. Second down and 10. Second down and 10 for the Rams. Fonzie, if you're listening, this is a great game. Did I say 6 and 7? No, I did not. LA Chargers versus the Dallas Cowboys. This is Fonzie's team versus the Dallas Cowboys. There is only a 1% chance of the Dallas Cowboys making the playoffs. The Chargers have the same record as the San Francisco 49ers, guys. The Dallas Cowboys are favored against the Chargers. Where's all the disrespect for the Chargers? That's wild, guys. Wild. Dallas Cowboys favored negative 130. A plus 1.5 on the spread. It ain't going to happen, man. The defense has just been falling apart continuously for the Cowboys. It just can't happen. The LA Chargers win this game. That's an upset. It's a plus 110. I'm going with the Chargers. Fonzie, what's your put a score up? What do you think you guys are going to? Are you guys convinced you're going to win against the Dallas Cowboys? You're not favored, which is it's very strange. Dallas Cowboys got to win every game, and all kinds of people got to lose for them to get a spot in the NFC wildcard. It's very unlikely. I'll be watching that game 10 a.m. I'll be interested in that Sunday morning. All right, Rams getting across the 50-yard line now. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Carolina Panthers. Did you guys notice last week that Drew kept calling? I had to go back and listen to it. But Drew works late, guys, so he needs some rest, sometimes late at night. But he kept calling the Carolina Panthers the Pamphers. And after a while, I kept giggling about it. I haven't busted his balls on it yet, but he kept calling them the Panthers, the Carolina Panthers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Panthers. This is very exciting because obviously, guys, these two teams have been almost intercepted. They're going to have to review that play and see if the So it appears, it looks like the officials are going to be seeing if the Seahawks indeed pick that one off at the 50-yard line. Dramatic. This is exactly what I'm... Yeah, Man Cave, yeah, I appreciate it. I did get your text, man. We're going to put you down for those. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers literally exchanging first place in the NFC South. And again, if the Rams win today, the 49ers most likely move up to the 5th seed. And the 5th seed allows the 49ers, well, they got to play out all the games. They got to play 3 games to get to the Super Bowl, but they will play the weakest teams. They lost dramatically to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers earlier in the season, but they dominated the Panthers just a few weeks ago. So I still prefer to see the Seahawks win today. 49ers beat the Seahawks. If the Seahawks win today and the 49ers beat the Seahawks in the very final game, they could potentially end up being the first seed team with a devastated defense. It just makes no sense. Shout out to our coach, Shanahan. Moving on. I didn't say my pick, man. I got the Carolina Panthers. I don't have any faith in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at this point. By the way, the spread is -3 points, and the Buccaneers are favored, but I'm going with the Panthers. Call reversed. So let me just look at this play real quick. Damn it. They say he didn't have control of the ball. Rams get the ball back. Damn it. 3rd and 6. Damn it. Minnesota Vikings, J.J. McCarthy versus the New York Giants, 2-10. And I'll be honest with you guys, I've been watching this guy Skatibo's highlights on my Twitter feed, my X feed. He's freaking nuts. You talk about live streaming. He's been spending his time rehabbing and spending his time on Twitch as a live streamer, and he's quite funny. He's quite funny, by the way. Flag on the play. Oh, man. Minnesota Vikings. J.J. McCarthy's finally starting to get into his rhythm. He is the favorite at -155. I got to say, Jackson Dart versus J.J. McCarthy. If the Giants had more weapons and a better defense, it could be very interesting, but I'm going with J.J. McCarthy. I'm going with the Vikings this week. The Vikings. And I'm going straight money line on that one. A lot of passion in tonight's games, guys. A lot of passion back and forth. The Seattle Seahawks defense has got to put a stop to them. They just keep letting them advance the ball. Let's move on to Cincinnati Bengals versus the Dolphins. Big news. Big news. I might watch the Super Bowl at the Hard Rock Cafe in Las Vegas or in San Diego. The Hard Rock Cafe in Las Vegas always puts on amazing Super Bowl parties. Not cheap, but they come with a lot of good food. The Las Vegas one right on the Strip. They actually throw really good parties. Back in the day, we used to go to UFC parties there. And here it is, the touchdown for the Rams. Son of a... Puka Nacua. Fresh off of live streaming all week with those Aiden Ross kick streamers. Do they go for the 2-point conversion? Seattle's going to get a chance to tie the game. Damn, it looks like the Rams are going to keep the number 1 seed, man. I don't really have faith in Sam Darnold when it's clutch time. But we'll see. If this thing ends in a draw, he's got a lot of passion. I mean, he's a hell of a player, man. But off the field, I'm not vibing him. But if the Seahawks could tie this game, things get really funny with a draw. Things get really, really interesting with a draw. I'm praying for that. I'll go for that, man. Moving on to the Dolphins. Tua was benched. Yeah, they're pretty expensive parties, Fonzie, at the That's a lot of money for anybody, considering, especially since I got a nice house. I got 85-inch TVs. That's a lot of money just thinking about $300 a person. But if you're in Las Vegas, sometimes you just, you're coming to Las Vegas for the big weekend. Sometimes you just don't trip, $300, you're having a great time. You're going to make a memory out of it. Sometimes you're not even tripping off that. There's a lot of parties from expensive to relatively affordable. They do throw a good party though. I will say that, man. All right. New York Jets. Excuse me. I didn't get over my Dolphins pick. Tua's been benched. And the big news with that is that Tua could potentially walk away with a $99 million payout. There is no way you slice it or dice it. He is officially owed a ton of money for the 2026 season and some guaranteed money for the 27 season. Even if they trade him away, they could be looking at $45 million plus that they still have to pay out of pocket. Some people in the Bay Area are calling for Tua to come here as a backup quarterback. If we get rid of Mac Jones, they are smoking. They're tripping. I want nothing to do with Tua. He's been hit in the head way too many times, way too many concussions. It shows. He can't play in cold weather. He's lost every single game under 30 degrees. He just got rocked the other day in cold weather. And as a result, they're benching him. So they got a backup quarterback. I'm going with the Bengals, negative 205. Cincinnati Bengals win this game this weekend. All right, we'll see if Seattle has a chance to come back. Kansas City Chiefs, obviously devastating news. It appears the injury that Patrick Mahomes had is more serious, and it may be a possibility that he does not even start at the beginning of the 2026 season. Tennessee Titans, backup quarterback. They should be able to beat the Tennessee Titans. They are favored even with their backup quarter, who is Minshew, by the way. Minshew, no stranger to Las Vegas Raiders fans. I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs, negative 180, even with the backup quarterback against the Tennessee Titans. All right, did they get that reception? Did he get 2 feet in? 1, 2. And control of the ball. I say he got it. New York Jets. New York Jets versus the New Orleans Saints. 2 teams I could give a shit about. A plus 220 for the New York Jets. Underdog the Jets. I got the Saints all day on this one. One of my least favorite divisions. Thanks a lot, guys. If you were watching, I'm giving my Week 16 picks as we watch along in overtime, 37-30 against the Seattle Seahawks. Battle of the NFC West. Let me change my pick. Unfortunately, Drew, guys, he couldn't be here today. He's working overtime again. A lot of bad weather in the city of Philadelphia. Change my pick here. Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Denver Broncos. Trevor Lawrence coming off probably the best, finest performance of his professional football career last week. He is red hot against the most incredible AFC team. This is an incredible game. I'm not going to miss this game. I'm going to definitely be glued to the TV to watch this AFC showdown. Jacksonville Jaguars versus Denver Broncos. The Broncos have gotten done their win streak is ridiculous. They are favored by negative 166. Trevor Lawrence is going to have the game of his life again to throw off Bo Nix. Seahawks just flipped over. Didn't even get any extra yards or the first down. That's putting your whole body into it. Fonzie says the Jaguars. I got the Denver Broncos continuing their lucky win streak and continuing their dominance to a first seed in the AFC division. I think they will be the first seed. It's almost guaranteed. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're hungry, guys. Even without that star wide receiver they drafted, they're going to make the playoffs. Atlanta Falcons versus the Bird Gang, Arizona Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals obviously letting go of their quarterback earlier this year. Was that a catch? They say it's a catch, guys. They say it's a catch. Do not screw this up. Sam Darnold has thrown 2 interceptions today. Do not screw this up. Just get a freaking draw. I will be happy with a draw. Down to about the 15-yard line, guys. Do not screw this up. Battle for first place. I hope both teams lose. That's what Christian McCaffrey said. The only conceivable way they both lose is if they get a draw, because the 49ers winning could potentially put the 49ers, I think, in first place, which is something I didn't even contemplate that. I haven't even contemplated a draw. Could potentially put the Niners in first place. Sam Darnold. Inside the 10-yard line, guys. This is looking great. Cardinals are not going to win this game. They've got to rebuild that team. Unfortunately for them, they're the only weak link in the NFC West this year, while everybody else is a standout team. So I wish them the best next season. Atlanta Falcons on that game. All right. Pittsburgh Steelers, 40-plus-year-old quarterback playing incredible Aaron Rodgers. They got the touchdown. Just short. First and goal. Just short. Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions trying to cling on to the possibility of a wild card spot. Some teams have got to lose. The Steelers have been playing really fun football. They are not the favorite. Not the favorite. The Detroit Lions. And to my boy 702 Man Cave, he needs the Lions to lose, man. I'm picking Aaron Rodgers this weekend for Pittsburgh Steelers. I got the Steelers. The woes of the Las Vegas Raiders. Will they fire Pete Carroll after just one game? They're playing a red-hot team in the Houston Texans, perhaps the first or second top defense in the country. These odds are insane. Negative 1350 favorites for the Houston Texans against the LV Raiders. The Raiders need to rebuild the entire team. I mean, I don't think Chucky gives a shit about the team, because they've said this week that the Raiders, Allegiant Stadium, is the number one grossing in terms of revenue football stadium in America. Guys, will the Seattle Seahawks score? Please don't throw an interception. We got a touchdown. Seattle Seahawks have got the touchdown. They can win the game with a 2-point conversion, or they can just lose it. They've gotten lucky today twice with 2-point conversions. Do they go for the 2-point conversion? Would you go for the 2-point conversion? Let me know in the chat. Go Pack, go 13. Salute to you. Welcome, everybody. I'm watching the end of the NFC West showdown here. Seattle Seahawks with the potential to win the whole game. Oh, man. They're going... Oh, God, man. I can't believe they're going for it. A draw would have been... Oh. We got a timeout. That takes some big balls from the Seattle Seahawks, guys. They're almost assured to go into... Seahawks will absolutely be in the playoffs, but a win over the Rams puts them in the first place seed position, even if it's temporary. The 49ers could play the Seattle Seahawks in their very final game, and if they upset the Seahawks, which they beat them this year, the 49ers could walk away as the shocking first place seed. That's a lot of ifs It all depends here. If Sam Darnold could be successful, if he blows this, they just lose the game. And you allow the Rams to continue to be the first place seed team. Some big balls in Seattle. Another timeout. Another timeout. 7:02 Man Cave says the Raiders are trash. Somebody just lit a fireworks outside my house. 37-36. 2-point conversion. The entire game is on the line. They just showed Pakua and Stafford, who is probably the leading candidate for MVP. NFC MVP. Matthew Stafford having a remarkably incredible season for a 37-year-old quarterback. Here we go. Sam Darnold. They're putting all their faith in this one play. Oh, shit. They got it! They got it! They got it! Sorry about that, guys. They got it! The new NFC first place team, the Seattle Seahawks. Everybody doubted Sam Darnold. Oh, they're talking about Matthew Stafford is the MVP. Oh, my God. What a game. Spiced whiskey. I'm feeling frisky, man. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. We got one more game. Unbelievable performance. Unbelievable. What a game. Thursday Night Football. So let me just quickly look, because I had written this down, guys, what the NFC schedule looks like. Unbelievable. The LA Rams dropped at 11-4, and the Seattle Seahawks improved to 12-3. The 49ers are still 10-4. 49ers most likely will improve to 11-4, which means that they would be tied with the LA Rams. They've split 2 games apiece. I'm not sure if they'll advance to second place. But the Rams are playing the Falcons, which Rams are going to win out the rest of the season. They only have 2 more games. The Seahawks are playing the Panthers next week, which could be relatively competitive. Panthers have had a big upset recently. And then for the very final game, the San Francisco 49ers play the Seattle Seahawks. This is incredible. The 49ers got to get past Old Man Rivers this weekend. Old Man Rivers, 44 years old. We're going to play him. We're going to beat him. We're going to have an interesting matchup against the Bears. Very competitive matchup against the Bears, which is why I need the Bears to lose this coming weekend. And then we finish out the season against the Seahawks. 49ers win the next 2 games, and potentially the 49ers could potentially be playing for the first place seed, a team, the Seahawks, that they're very comfortable playing. And, they're division bitter rivals, guys. LV Raiders have no chance. If I didn't say it already, I do not pick them. They are 14.5 spread. Every time the Raiders are involved in a spread that big, something funny happens. Negative 1350 favorite for the Houston Texans. Then we have the New England Patriots versus the Ravens. I've got the Patriots, guys. They're going to run all over the poor Ravens team this year. They are favored by... DraftKings is tripping, man. Patriots are plus 136 underdog. Patriots, guys. I'm going with the Patriots. They are tripping. And then, of course, next Monday night, Christmas week, we got the San Francisco 49ers versus Old Man Rivers. Where are the odds of that? Monday, December 22nd, Indianapolis Colts versus the San Francisco 49ers. A negative 270 favorite. Out of 11 pundits for CBS, only one, I believe, had the Indianapolis Colts. I've got the Bang Bang Niner Gang winning that game next Monday, and we'll do a watch party just like the one we did. If you're still watching, I appreciate you guys. Hit that thumbs up, man. That's one thing that we're missing on this channel, where it's like a lot of our, if you're one of our favorites, do not forget to hit if one of our people in our chat, don't forget to hit that, because it really helps push that to other people recommended in vertical mode or whether we're in horizontal. But anyhow, guys, I appreciate you guys being here. Let me just run by some things really quickly with you guys here. We did the bet slip already. Paul versus Joshua tomorrow night in less than 24 hours. Alicia Bumgarner is on the card. That might be an interesting women's fight. But aside from that, Yocosta Valley also on that. If you like women's boxing, MVP is big on that. I appreciate Jake Paul's sense of humor here. Because if things are, if the universe ain't playing games, Anthony Joshua is going to knock this boy out unconscious. And there's been some incredible knockouts even tonight on Pro Box TV. We've had some incredible knockouts on Pro Box TV. This is Friday night. I will be watching it. We'll see if we do a watch party. I'm not sure if we'll have time to do a watch party. Maybe. I mean, I'm not going out for that. But let me go show you guys about Misfits Boxing. Andrew Tate, Cobra Tate, a very controversial figure, is fighting a former NFL player, or I'm not sure how far he got in NFL, former NFL player / reality TV star. Andrew Tate made this guy, for the main event, lose so much freaking weight. He's a natural heavyweight. Like I said, he played football. He made this guy drop so much weight. Andrew Tate is like a cruiserweight. Let me just remind you guys who he's fighting. This is who Cobra Tate is fighting. He's improved, but quite honestly, I've never seen a guy with such bad footwork, considering he was a football player. He hasn't improved that much more. He's still very awkward. Take a look at his footwork, his jab. This was his debut, Chase Demore. Look at this. Yeah, he was punching the air back in the days in his professional debut on Misfits Boxing. Also on Misfits Boxing, shout out to Vince in the chat. His nephew, Amado Vargas, is fighting. He sent me a clip. Fight Hub covered it. They covered it today, and I got to tell you that who he's fighting was so incredibly disrespectful. Talking about his mother, and the only thing I can say to that is, well, Amado, you got to knock him out at this point. Yeah, I mean, I've rarely seen people. It's been a long time since I've seen people go after family members. Back in the day, we had Mayorga, who went famously after Oscar De La Hoya's wife. And just family, like, I mean, that's trash right there. When you cross the line in a press conference and bring up family, you're trash. So you deserve the worst outcome, whatever happens on that Misfits card. Tonight, like I mentioned, there was some pretty amazing action on Pro Box. Make sure you go and check that out. Do I got anything else? I mentioned earlier that Tua's contract, if they cut him before June 1st, they owe him $99.2 million. If they cut him after June 1st, it's $67.4 million guaranteed. Yes, it is. And he deserves to be knocked out for that. Don't take it easy on him. Chase Demore in that fight. Let me play you a little clip. Because Cobra Tate, who is a former world kickboxing champion.
Look at his box rec. The guy fought in light heavyweight. He was 4-3 in light heavyweight against bums that he was getting knocked out against. And he's talking about coming up to heavyweight. And if he was so confident that he was going to beat me, then why do we have, a weight clause in a heavyweight bout? Why are we fighting under 200 pounds? Why is there a rehydration clause? Why is it, his arena, his judges, his referee? Why did he, it's rules in fighting. He could deny my gloves. I have to fight in house gloves. Why is he doing all this if he...
I've seen Cobra Tate's public workouts, guys, and he hits the mitts very poorly. He should win this fight just because Chase Demore, he can't really fight. He's got really bad defense. Cobra Tate is a former world kickboxing champion, but he looks awful. I mean, he looks awful in his comeback, hitting the pads. I mean, this could play out to be a very strange-looking fight on the main event. Kitty Diamond, appreciate you, says Joshua's going to win. He should win. He should win, right? And he thinks Andrew Tate is going to win. I also think Andrew Tate is going to win that as well. But it's going to be interesting, to say the least. And if anybody knows exactly what time, usually I do know what time these things are, but because it's in Dubai, I have no idea what time that is actually going to happen there. I wanted to also send congratulations to Tim Zhu, who I got a chance to meet him in March of 2025 when he fought here in Las Vegas. He was the world champion at that point. He now trains with Pedro Diaz of Miami, and he came back. He fought also the same day as Nonito Donaire, which was yesterday in Australia, and he won a unanimous decision against not a journeyman, but a club fighter in Anthony Velasquez, who fights out of the Boston area. A win is a win. He's redeveloping himself. He had a really bad, a couple of fights where he was knocked out brutally. And sometimes you got to rebuild as a champion. Tonight I mentioned knockouts. This knockout happened. This is a knockout of the year contender on Pro Box.
He's gone wild. End of round number 1.
And you talk about somebody's mom, you deserve to get knocked out just like that. I mean, this also happened tonight while we're watching this football game. Let me show you guys this. Joshan James, who lost to Lester Martinez. Lester Martinez recently fought Christian and Billy, one of the best super middleweights in the world. Lester Martinez currently, in my opinion. Well, Joshan James from Sacramento, he got the dub tonight, but this happened.
Double knockdown. Went off. Double knockdown.
You don't always see that, a double knockdown. Boy, that was fun. But Joshan James did go on to win the game, a double knockdown. Also, this was in the news today. Obviously, Pakua had a very good game, but as you can see, Aiden Ross, the NFL has taken action against Aiden Ross, blocking future player collaborations and restricting his access to stadiums after the incident involving Puka Nacua, guys. And unfortunately for Puka Nacua, he's not too keen on some of these issues regarding the Jewish community. And he fell prey to probably, some backward pranks that these guys were doing behind the scenes. In case you're wondering what Anthony Joshua looks like against Jake Paul from the from the face-off today, the final face-off, this is tomorrow on Netflix. Shit, everybody will be there. In fact, I'm thinking about doing a reaction after this. We'll see, you guys. Tune in. This past weekend, Diego Pacheco in Stockton, California, under DAZN, under Matchroom Boxing, fought an African French fighter who was literally about the same dimensions. Diego Pacheco, 6'4". He fought a very strong, powerful, stocky 5'8" fighter. And that 5'8" fighter versus a 6'4" fighter managed to clip him and knock him down. Okay. Anthony Joshua has been hit by some of the hardest heavyweight punchers, and he was a former heavyweight champion. Jake Paul has knocked out inexperienced non-boxers, MMA artists, and so on. Shit happens in boxing. The funniest things can happen in boxing. Fonzie says, Pacheco had a bad performance. He had a bad performance in January when we saw him at the Cosmopolitan. He had a bad performance then. How many more bad performances is he going to have? And to end the night, guys, speaking Fonzie, we saw Diego Pacheco fight this year. Me and my boy Fonzie, we also saw the monster Inoue, and it was a pleasure to watch Inoue Cinco de Mayo weekend on a Sunday night in Las Vegas against Cardenas. Cardenas fought on Pro Box on YouTube. Cardenas has been training as a Mexican-American fighter. He's been training almost exclusively in Japan. He says he belongs with the cream of the crop, and this is what his performance was like tonight.
From Cardenas. Oh! Big right hand! Counter. Big right hand! Counter. I don't think he's...
Unbelievable knockout. And Cardenas, by the way, if you forgot, he dropped Inoue, the monster, on May 2nd. He dropped him. So what do I want to see from Cardenas? Angelo Leo was in the building that night. Angelo Leo, a topper. He works, he's co-promoted with Top Rank and another boxing promoter. I'm pretty sure Cardenas, who just fought Inoue remarkably in May, and now coming off of this, he should be getting a look by the sanctioning bodies and maybe a super fight with Angelo Leo in the featherweight division next year, sometime in 2026, between these two incredible Mexican-American warriors. Angelo Leo trains and works out of Las Vegas. Throwing shade, Matchroom Boxing, Stockton. He was just here in Stockton, California last week. I live in Vegas, but he putting on an event that also featured Gabe Flores. Gabe Flores trying to fight for a world title opportunity, eliminator. He says that he's seen TKO Boxing made an offer to a boxer he knows with a different manager, and that he could not believe how bad the money was. You know, I mean, of course you're going to talk shit on your competition, but we're just about a month away from the debut of TKO Boxing in Las Vegas at the Apex Training Center, which is right off the 215 Beltway in Las Vegas. I have not gotten an invite. Word on the street is almost no boxing journalists, unless you're associated with the ring, will be invited. Most likely it will be a private event. They have a full-blown TV studio. But Eddie Hearn throwing shade at Dana White. He should fight Bam. Yeah. Bam is a promotional free agent. Lots of promotional free agents. Guys, remember at one point, Boots Ennis was a promotional agent who was just fighting on PBC on a one-off basis. Oh, man. Thursday night, incredible NFC West Showdown. I appreciate everybody that was here. Stay tuned. I'll make a post if we're going to go live, or if Drew wants to go live after the Anthony Joshua. We'll see about that tomorrow night on Netflix. Everybody can watch it. Millions of people will be watching in hopes that Jake Paul gets clowned tomorrow night. All remains to be seen. Until then, I wish everybody an incredible holiday weekend. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Dave in the 702. I'm out. Peace.